Hello everyone, I Ria Pahuja from Economic Times CIO welcome you all to another webinar on ensure seamless functioning with Huawei's business continuity management. India is in a lockdown to prevent the aggressive spread of the novel coronavirus. Organizations are adopting digitally aided work from home to avoid business disruptions. However, the sudden shift to a digitally connected workforce has created an overwhelming surge in the network traffic, tearing apart enterprise networks. Services like YouTube and Netflix, among many others, are adopting increased usage of video conferencing, which is putting immense pressure on their networks. Today, through this webinar, Huawei, in association with ETCIO, will demonstrate how to assure seamless business continuity in such a challenging time. The main discussion key points today will be optimizing your network to handle sudden surge in traffic, continuing video content on networks without throttling it, offering HD services without obstacles. We will also see how Huawei's ISPs are rapidly scaling their network to ensure service of video streaming apps in full HD. For this very topical discussion, we have with us a panel of three amazing speakers. We have with us Mr. Jove, Mr. Steve Kim, and Mr. Amit Singh. A very warm welcome, speakers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jove is Sales Director for Huawei EBG India Network Solution. Mr. Kim is Vice President for Huawei EBG India. Last but not the least, Mr. Amit Singh is ISP Vertical Business Head for Huawei EBG India. Before we dive deep into the discussion, I request all my dear attendees to please drop in your doubts and queries in the box provided. We will take your questions at the end of the discussion in our Q&A round. Without any further delay, I now request our very first speaker for this webinar, Mr. Kim, to please take this forward with his presentation. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to have this chance to share my idea about the business continuity management. Actually, now is the special time because of coronavirus issue. So everybody is working from home. I think everybody will feel more about the business continuity importance for this kind of period. So for my topics, I will talk about the why BCM is of vital important, and the second, I will give you some idea about the Huawei DataCon's experience in responsible to the entity list event, and also how we can overcome the challenge in the coronavirus issues. And the third one, I want to share our network construction for business continuity standard. What's our network construction standard? Firstly, I want to show you some case study. First one is the September 11 attacks to US. This attacks caused a lot of disruption in that time. The banks of New York's data center was destroyed in these attacks. The bank get bankrupt within 6 months because of the data they didn't store in the backup data centers. But the Dutch banks restored their business within 6 days. In fact, they back up all the data in the DR center. So from this case, you can understand the data and ICT system are the core asset of enterprise. And then this is the next case study is the Philippines factory fire in 2000. This kind of issue destroyed millions of mobile phone chips. And Ericsson, they don't have plan B. They also didn't do the BCM. So the issue is the quit from the handset market after 9 months, and the lost also more than 400 million. If you look at another player, Nokia, they have BCM methods. So they found a solution within 1 month, and they become the industry leader after this kind of issue. Their market share in that time increased to 45%. So we can see the risk management of the vendors also is critical. A multi-vendor strategy eases the supply interruptions. And if you go to the the last case study is about Japan bans the 3 high-tech materials to South Korea. This kind of ban make 269 semiconductor companies be big impact, and more than 60 companies will be bankrupt after 6 months. So the global market is unstable. The increased trade issue and also currently the cholera issue make a lot of business continuity issue, especially in this year. So I want to give some ideas. What is BCM? Actually, BCM is armed to identify the potential threat and also analysis the possible measures, mechanism to overcome those threats and also build the recovery capabilities. And the BCM integrate with the emergency management, ICT, disaster recovery, and supply chain management, especially ICT, DR, and supply chain management is the core of BCM. So how Huawei built the BCM system? This is the Huawei overall structure for BCM. Actually, our BCM flow covered R&D, procurement, manufacturing, supply chain, service delivery, and the finance, IT, HR, admin, PRGR, all the part. And in each countries, we have our business continuity plan and also accident management plan. So we can guarantee our delivery, our supply chain, no impact from any kind of incidents, any kind of disasters. So you can see during this coronavirus issue, Huawei still can supply all the models of our product, especially in our datacom products. So coming to the second section, I want to give you more idea about how Huawei deployed the BCM and what's our core capability in datacom business. You can see from this diagram, you can see Huawei integrate our BCM flow in our IPD process. IPD means integrated product development. For example, if in the initial phase, we choose one optical module for one datacom product, for example, 100G optical modules. Initially, we choose maybe one US vendors, but during the planning, development, quality stage, we will gradually choose maybe Japanese or Chinese or Germany's other vendors' optical modules. So multi-supply is our standard for each components. We will avoid single vendor for the components. This is the first point I want to point out. And secondly, I want to emphasize the core components make device vendor competitive. And also this is a benchmark for one company's survival. From this slide, you can see maybe I think it's 20 years back or 30 years back, Siemens, Motorola, and recent technologies also are cut. All are the leaders in the market for the telecommunication industries. But in 2000 to 2005, they were stripped their chip and optical department for short-term financial returns. So they lost their core components capabilities. The result is all the companies disappeared from this industry, also acquired or merged by other companies. But if you look at Huawei, we're starting our chips development from 2001. And you can see from this diagram, in 2011, Huawei getting to the leader for the routers chipset, the core chipset. We have more than 20 years experience in developing the Solar series chipset now. And I want to give you more idea in this industry, what's the core capabilities. In the marketplace, only Huawei and Cisco have the capability to do the self-development chips for the forwarding chips, for the routing chips. So if you choose the vendor, you don't choose only by the brand. You should look at the core technology from which source. So actually only 3 sources, Huawei, Cisco, and Broadcom. And with our own self-developed solar chips, and we also use some commercial chips from Broadcom. We can guarantee our components or our multi-vendors, and also we can guarantee the business continuity by our standard workflow. So I want to give you more idea about our core chips. First is the forwarding module. This one we call the Solar. And the second is the computing module. We call it Kunpeng and Ascent. Kunpeng is for the general computing, and the Ascent chips is for the AI computing, like NVIDIA. So Huawei have the CPU like Intel. Huawei also have the GPU like NVIDIA. And also for the RF module, we have the very leading technology for RF module. We are the most advanced provider for the RF module. That's why we are much advanced compared to other vendors for 5G technologies. At least 18 months we are leading in this industry for 5G. And also, if you look at the optical module, we have our own 4 series of optical modules from GE to 10G to 100G to 400G. And also, if you look at the core software platform, Huawei have our own OS. We call it Ola OS. We also have our own OLTP or AP database. We call it GaussDB. With those core technologies, we can launch more than 100 plus new products within 2019. After the US entity issue, we replaced all the US components within 6 months. So currently, if you look at the campus network, we call it Air Engine for Wi-Fi 6, Cloud Engine for the campus network. If you look at the data center network, our series is the Cloud Engine, maybe 6,800 or Cloud Engine 16,800 series. Or the companies, 0 US companies. And also if you look at the one, our NE 8000 for the carriers, our AR 6000 for the enterprise. We can guarantee our forwarding capability, our performance is #1 in the market. And also, if you look at all the carriers, more than 60% they are using our core router for their backbone. And also, if you look at the security product from USD 6,000 to the USD 12,000, the performance, the stability also is leading the industry. Okay, coming to the general BCM principles, there are 3 factors. First, for your business, you should do the dual vendor selection. Secondly, you should keep your network, follow the open standard, and also do the life cycle management. The last one, you should have follow some network construction principle, like the dual plane for the critical networks layers, and also multi-vendors for the hybrid network capabilities, and also multi-vendor management strategy. Use the open tools to do the multi-vendors device management. So if you look at the Gartner report, they have some key findings. Maybe some IT head or some management worry about the TCO. Actually, if multi-vendor, dual vendor for your network will save your TCO more than 15% in 5 years time frame, and also will not make the network be complex. Actually, dual vendors will reduce the network complexity because of all the protocol is standard, all the tools is standard and open architectures, and also the network operation team can use the third-party management tools to do the whole network's management. And the second one, you should avoid vendor lock-in for your network. This kind of suggestion means you should follow the IETF and ITU-T standard. For example, OSPF this is the standard routing protocol, but EIGPR, that is a private protocol. So you should adopt standard and open technology to avoid the vendor lock-in. And also you look at the right side, you should use the mainstream technology for your network, like Ethernet and the LTE interface. You should not use the SA or E1 or the XDSL, those old old technology for your network. You should replace those kind of low-speed interface from your network immediately. Otherwise, you will have some vendor lock-in issue. And I also want to give you some suggestions for how to construct your network. First one is for your campus network. Maybe different building or different campus, you should use the different vendors solution. One building from vendor A, maybe another building should from the vendor B. And maybe you also have this kind of design, the access network from one vendor, the aggregation and code from second vendor. And also you can split your network by the different campus should from different vendors. This kind of design can make your network be open architecture. And if you look at the one, actually for your critical network layer, you should make 2 play. One play from vendor A, another play maybe from vendor B. And also you should use the standard SD-WAN solution. Don't use the private protocol solution. And coming to the data center network, somebody worry about if I use the dual vendor solution, how to guarantee my data center be stable. Actually, for your production data center or your real DR, usually choose one vendor. But for your DR side, should choose another vendor for your network. Or in one data center, one block, maybe 40 racks, use one vendor. Another block, you use vendor B. This kind of design can make your data center be more simple. Otherwise, maybe like for example, Cisco, they will use the DCI solution. After you deploy the DCI, the whole network be locked by their solution, right? So this kind of vendor locking will make your TCO be very high. Coming to the last page, I want to give you one more case study. We will talk about the Volkswagen. Actually, if you look at the first diagram, before 2017, all the code layer equipment and also the aggregation access layer, all the datacom product from Cisco and all the FC network from Brocade. There have the three issues. First is security risk issue. We all know in 2017, Volkswagen faced a big challenge from US government. They get the penalty, I think it's 18 billion USD. They give to the US government. The only evidence is some board meeting minutes acquired by the US government. So the Volkswagen management, they're thinking the information disclosed maybe by the network. That's why they redesigned their network in 2018. They called the new design the sandwich architecture. The access layer, two vendors. The aggregation layers, also two vendors. And the core layers, also two vendors. This kind of design can ensure the really security for your network. And after the design, this solution and also deployed this kind of solution, they save their TCL more than 40%. Last year, we sell more than 40 million USD equipment to Volkswagen, and zero security issue in their network. So today, we'll more talk about the business continuity management, and also we will more focus on the ISP verticals. That's all from my side. Thank you, Leah. I think you can go to next session.
Up next, we have our next speaker, Mr. Amit Singh. I request him to please take this forward.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kim, for giving us the insight about the PCM.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think in current scenario, first of all, I would like to welcome all our participants, because in such a difficult time, they have taken out the time to join this webinar. So let me first emphasize on the objective of this webinar. Okay, through this webinar, what we are trying to basically communicate to our customers, to our service providers, to our partner, that in such a difficult time, Huawei, being one of the leading technology company, is standing with you, and we can help you to fight the current situation. We can help you to overcome the current challenges which are there in the market with our experience outside India. So if we see in last 20 days, probably the way we are working, the things are getting changed. Okay, probably a month back, our the roads were full of traffic. Now today's Today, the network is full of traffic. Most of our service provider, their network are almost choke or getting utilized 90 or 100% of their capacity. So because of this, there are multiple challenges which they are facing or they might face in coming time. So through this webinar, we are trying to basically share with them that how Huawei readiness can help them to overcome the existing challenges which are currently present in the market. So let me start with my presentation. My presentation will have two parts. On first part, I will quickly give you a Huawei overview. I guess some of the participant they might be aware of Huawei, so I would like to update them with the latest facts and figure. Then the second part would be on how Huawei as a technology partner can help our service provider to diversify their business, how we can help them to offer new services in the market which are becoming need of coming times. So as some of you might be aware of, Huawei is a global company based out of Shenzhen. We are present in almost 170 countries. Huawei, one of the major strength is our 50% employee strength is in the R&D. So that gives us edge as compared to the competition. Because of this strong R&D, Huawei is able to come up with an innovative product and innovative solution as per the local market need. In a Fortune 500, Huawei stand at 61 rank. If you look at the Huawei, overall growth in terms of the revenue, we are constantly, having a average growth of more than 20% year on year. Primarily, Huawei is having a three business group. Some of you might be aware of. The first is our telecom business, where we are a leading player in technologies like 5G or a BTS or a telecom solutions. The second business group is enterprise, okay, where we are offering a solution to large corporates, governments, to ISPs. And the third business unit, what we have is the consumer, where we have a product like handsets and tablets and mobile accessories. Okay, so I would like to highlight one thing. Probably the 7-8 years back, I can say in 2011, when Huawei started the two new business unit, that is the enterprise and the consumer. That time, most of the telecom hardware provider, they were struggling to do the growth in the market because they have already acquired the growth in the telecom segment. So that time many of players they came into the enterprise and the consumer business. But the way Huawei was able to capture the market in enterprise and consumer, because of that we are able to achieve a sustainable growth year on year, and that is the reason why we are there in year on year our ranking on Fortune 500 is coming down. So if you look from the enterprise point of view, today we are working with almost 228 Fortune 500 companies. Okay, in India also we are working with SBI, we are working with IOCL. Okay, we are working with almost 700 government worldwide. In India also we are working with multiple state governments, with the center government. Okay, where we are building up their core access and distribution network. To just name few, in Indian market, we are working with like Power Grid to set up their core network. We are working with APFSL to make their core network. We are working with Delhi Wi-Fi to offer the Wi-Fi services in Delhi. Huawei, as some of you might be understanding that in technology wise they are quite strong, and they have a very strong footprints across the world. That presence and that strength of Huawei is recognized in a different, I will say, different third-party organizations. Okay, as per the GSM, as per our contribution in the GSM, it has been, we have been awarded a different awards for this. As per the brand value, by a different third party, we have been always among the top 10 brand by brand finance, by brand Z we are always among the top 50, or as per the inter brand we are among the top 100. Okay. Apart from this, for our sustainable contribution towards the ITU is basically comes under the United Nations. So our regular and continuous contribution in the ITU, that has been acknowledged by the ITU also in terms of the ICT field. Coming to the Huawei India, we are in Indian market from the last 20 years, and we are serving to many customers across the India, across multiple verticals. We have the largest R&D in Bangalore, which is outside China, and this Bangalore R&D employs almost 3,000 engineers. In this R&D, majorly we are working on the phone and application part. In India, we also have the manufacturing, which is at a Chennai. In India, we have a open lab, which is in Delhi, where we try to basically work with our partners to showcase some new and innovative solutions. Huawei has 8 warehouse in India. Through this warehouse, we are trying to serve all our enterprise customers. We are trying to meet their different SLA, service and support SLA, through this direct 8 warehouse. Whereas apart from this 8 warehouse, we do have a strong partner ecosystem, service partner ecosystem, who are present in all major tier 2 cities and state capitals. So through them, we are able to cover pan-India service and support. Now coming to second part of my presentation, which will be more specific for the service provider. So if we see in India, the kind of a broadband growth that is happening, probably 2 years or 4 years back, nobody thought that probably 50 Mbps or 100 Mbps will become the standard in the market. But in the last 4 years, we have seen that this kind of a requirement is becoming standard in the market. Okay, and the way the contents are, I will say the video-rich contents are coming on a different platform. The bandwidth demand day by day is going high across the world. So what are the major challenges for the service provider? First challenges can be, how they can get the bigger market share. Second challenge can be how they can have a better ROI. So Huawei is able to help many of their service provider on these 2 parameters, where we are able to guide them, we are able to work with them to make their ROI shorter, so that whatever they are investing, they can get the return in a short span of time. We have also helped many of the service provider to expand their market reach through our innovative and new solutions. Some of the service provider, we have seen that they have started going, they are moving to a different segment. Apart from offering the broadband, they are started giving the B2B business or B2B services also to many SMBs and commercial and large enterprise. So there also Huawei can help many of the service provider to offer such kind of a services or design a solution which are the requirement of the enterprise or SMB segment. if we look at home broadband in India, still the home broadband or a wireline penetration is very less as compared to any European countries or a China or a Southeast Asia country like Singapore. Okay, uh, where currently we have only 21 or 22 million wireline penetration. Okay, whereas if you look at the cable connection or a household connection, okay, which is almost like 300 million. So still there is a huge opportunity for a wireline business in Indian market. And this has to be achieved because without having the connectivity across the India, the digital India, the safe city or the smart city won't be successful because the bandwidth is a basic backbone of all these services. And definitely the local service provider has to play a major role in such kind of a services. Okay. Overall, if you see the speed requirement is also going high, year on year for the home user because of that, the home user now they are in a habit of using multiple video content platform, like say for example now we are using a Netflix or a Hotstar or a Amazon. Okay, probably these things were not available or these things were not used 5 years or 6 years back now, but today these things are become necessity for a home user. And in such kind of a today's scenario, this is becoming a kind of a mandatory, where users are continuously hooked or logged to such kind of a OTT services. Okay, that is the reason why recently we have seen that the player like Netflix or Amazon or YouTube, they have reduced their video quality from HD to SD, standard definition, to meet such kind of a high demand which is coming because of the change in the work style which has happened in the last 20 days. And same time, if you see the current occupation of the fiber which is laid by the service provider is still less. So there is a still a opportunity or a space where they can leverage the existing fiber what they have laid down in their respective area by offering a multiple services. Many of a service provider, they have the dark fiber. Some will have the 500 kilometers, some will have the 1,000 kilometer, or some bigger players like telcos, they have a lakh kilometer dark fiber across the India. So what we are trying to say on this slide that we can help the service provider who are having a dark fiber to offer other services like lease line services or a point-to-point connectivity or NLD kind of services through our innovative product and the solution what is there in our kitty. So this can be a one step. Another step can be further on this connectivity pipe. We can help them to build up the cloud. It can be a public, private, or a hybrid cloud. This cloud can be used to offer a multiple services like can offer a platform as a services or software as a services. They can host many application, and those application can be offered as a cloud services to the SMB or a commercial market. So this is where Huawei can help them to design and prepare their network for the new demand which is coming from the market. Now recently we are seeing that many of the OEMs, they are coming up with the cloud Wi-Fi, because now cloud Wi-Fi is day and month on month, year on year coming on more demand. As per the third party or IDC, this market is approximately $12.4 billion for 2020. Okay. Now Huawei here has a very innovative and a good solution where we can build up the cloud or public or a private cloud for the service provider, and the service provider can take these services to their enterprise or a commercial customer. I think one thing which most of the player or participant will agree that if we have a customer on the cloud Wi-Fi, the stickiness will be always higher with the service provider, and the scalability will be much faster as compared to the traditional solutions which are available in the market. In India, we have already done, or we have already set up this cloud Wi-Fi for one of our service provider, which is in Delhi. It's named with Gigantic Infotech. So they have their cloud Wi-Fi set up in Sonipat, and from there they are catering the multiple education universities in northern part of the country. Huawei has a different, I will say, the infrastructure component in the OTT also. So here I would like to first make it clear that on the OTT side, we are not the application provider, we are the infra provider. So at a different layer of the OTT, Huawei can help you to create the infra through which you can offer the seamless services to your customer without any latency, without any delay. Okay, where we have a networking component, we have a streaming server solutions, we have a multi-city connectivity solution through the OTN or SDN or a DWDM, those kind of things. We have a high-end data centers which can be utilized to have a connectivity between two data centers to offer a more stable and reliable services in the market. So apart from the services which I have shown in the previous slide, our service providers are now also coming into the smart city, safe city, or education, okay, and shopping mall, where they are doing the networking in the commercial places through the FTTH solution. They are doing the Wi-Fi. They are offering the surveillance in hospitality and the commercial space. So on all this segment, Huawei can work with them as a technology partner, where we can help them to design the solution, and then they can take their solution to their end customers. This is some of our customers which are present in India. So from the different segment, from the operator side, from the finance side, from the government side, from the education, and from the ISP segment. So that's all from my side. Now I can ask our technology expert, which is Jove. He can take us through the technology presentation. So over to you, Jove.
Hey, I'm here. So let me share. Hello, you can quit. Let me share, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, everybody can see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can, sir.
Sorry, let me. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me start. So, good afternoon, everybody.
No, I am really sorry to interrupt. We had a poll question here. If you allow, we can quickly take it now.
Okay. So my name is Joe. So from Huawei India EVG. So I work in Huawei 12 years for the ISP business. Thanks everybody to come here to sit together discuss ISP business and ISP solution in the under the special time. Okay. So my best regard to you and your family the good health. Okay, so for us, so we of course we were sit together with all of the ISP customers then to process the urgent time. So for us, the only the aims is to continue provide our best service and the best solution to all of the subscribers. So first one, under the situation, what is the ISP rules in the situation? We have to offer more social responsibility. Okay, first one, let us review in the all of the South Asian country. Until this morning, how many people here? So for the COVID-19, okay, with so many people and all of these people is rise sharply. So based on this situation, all the government and the public have strong need. First one is remote office. Almost all people working in the home, and also entertainment, distant education, then telemedicine. With so many the different change. Oh my God, sorry. With so many change, the challenge for the face of ISP. First one is traffic model change, the bandwidth increase. Second one is the network quality and experience for the service provider. Third one is massive low-speed connection. Okay, so in MENA we can check in the last week the traffic increased 20%. So it means for us, for all of the ISP workers, we have to offer more social responsibility because the telecom service is basic service, and ISP is duty bound. If the requirement is cannot match, there have great pressure for the public opinion, right? So with this responsibility, let us check what they did in the last few days, the some of ISP. First, we check IIS from tenant. He is free upgrade the bandwidth from 50 megabits to 25 megabits. He can use the 5G smart robots to take care of the coronavirus patients. And also in Bangalore SAT, he free upgrade to 300 megabits. But this 300 megabits is before aggregation rate. Even our aggregation rate is 1 to 12. After aggregation also is 25 megabits. So for based this situation, almost some of the ISP already increase the bandwidth. Right? But even we increase the bandwidth in this current situation, some challenge for us. So first one, let us check. One is one data is from China because you know China already almost resolved the problem. Second, we check the data from Italy. Everybody know Italy. The major problem is now is from Italy, right? So let us check the bandwidth from China Telecom before and after the infection. So from the access part, we can see the 30% to 70% bandwidth increase from ORT. And also for the brass layer, its bandwidth increased 37. For the IPPB, 30%. And also for the busy hours, before only in the evening is busy hours, but now is from afternoon to evening. Okay, then from TISP is from Europe. The bandwidth increased 70%, and major is from online game. Then we check the from the everybody knows the Tencent. We check get one data is from Tencent the education traffic. We check in the last year November, December, and January, because January is the peak of the about COVID-19 in China. So we check the bandwidth increase in the last 3 months, the almost 3 times or 4 times increase, right? So also let us check for the access layer for the ORT. This is also from China China Telecom, and from the 4 cities. One is Chengdu, one is Harbin, one is Jinan, one is sorry, I cannot see the screen. Okay, so almost all of the ORT bandwidth increased too much, and most major growth of the bandwidth is home entertainment, online office, and online education. But with so much bandwidth increase, what's challenge for us? Too much difficult for us as peak, right? So first one we check U2B. U2B because this so much traffic problem, it reduce the stream quality. And also we check the red data. Red data is from Italy. Italy 2 ISP, one is TM, one is WAN. So all of this problem is come from fixed internet. Is major parts, right? So for this part, also for us is big challenge. So how to resolve this problem and ensure our business continue, right? So first, let's check the scenario of the ISP network. From access parts, access for major portion is come from home bandwidth packet, right? So even before we already deploy some GPON, some Wi-Fi, but the bandwidth, how about the bandwidth? We need to think about again. Second one is from metro to backbone. Metro backbone, most ISP use switch and DWDM for the metro and backbone. But for this part also is not enough. Some metro maybe only put 10G, 14G, even 100G fiber, right? But this band is increased 30% or 70%. So how to resolve this metro problem? So let us focus on from access to metro. First, let us discuss the access part. We define the home network 3 times 100 megabits anyway. First 100 is high-speed internet. Second one is for video. Third one is for Wi-Fi. Before, when we deploy the GPON network, it means maybe only 25 megabits, right? The access, but now we have to provide 300 megabits. It means we have to increase the antenna output power and the coverage. So we use the dual band Wi-Fi. But also for the ORT we have to use the high capacity card and the new architecture, distributed architecture. For the uplink aggregation layer, we have to use more 10G card, more and even 100G card. Okay, so but when we use so much the video stream, so how to make sure the quality of the video and the others, other service, but the video is a high priority, right? So we have the different experience QoS. We can set different layer servers have different QoS, and also we have some special feature like airtime fairness. You know, when we go to internet and also video, the argument, the stream is different by different time. So make a sample. When we didn't use airtime fairness, the feature, you use your phone, go to internet. Each second, you will need 1 megabits. For the Wi-Fi, each second you need 40 megabits, right? When your bandwidth is okay, you can use 8 megabits for 8 seconds for the internet, 80 for the video. But if the traffic is coming, so how to do? We should make sure the high priority service video, right? So this time, this feature will automatically adjust the internet to reduce the bandwidth and increase the bandwidth for the video service. This means for the right side, we can see in the 5 seconds, we reduce 8 seconds to 5 seconds for 5 megabits, and also increase from 2 seconds to 5 seconds for the video service, right? To make sure the high priority service. Okay, so now you know under this situation, all of the people cannot go out. If the network has some problem, how to provide the remote OEM to customer? So we have the network cloud engine is our similar like before NCE, right? So we can check this problem is come from connectivity or Wi-Fi coverage. Almost 70% or 80% this alarm we can resolve by remote. Make example, the uplink test, topology detective, and also configuration compression. All of these paths is for the access. It means for access, we need under this current situation, we have to do two things. One is how to make sure our bandwidth and our high priority service. Second one, how to provide the good service for our end user. Okay, then let us go to the metro. So because we increase the bandwidth for the metro is first challenge is from our metro. Before maybe we use 40G switch, 10G switch, right? But we cannot go to the 100G. So now we provide the box go to 100G. First time you can deploy by 40G. Second time you can go to 100 by software. And this box we can check. He's only a box. You can very easy to installation and easy maintenance, and also easy configuration. Second, we also that is 100. Also, we have 40G switch in the metro site. So metro sites are actually for this both the 40G switch and 100G. We can support the edge-link controller. It means also if even you use some Wi-Fi, direct connect to the switch. No need to put one more equipment for edge-link controller. Okay, that is switch solution. But switch solution has some limitation. Is first one is for your distance, transmission distance. Second one is bandwidth in one pairs fiber. But also we provide one DWDM solution. This DWDM solution is single fiber. He can save your fiber cost. This is number one. Second one, he also can transport distance to 120 kilometers. And he can work in single fiber. He can support some T capacity to make sure your bandwidth in future, some years, is enough. This is for the metro, okay. The last one is we provide some public Wi-Fi. You know, this case is from China. Everybody knows the Square Camp Hospital. 7 days finish this build this hospital, right? So we also provided our public Wi-Fi here. This public Wi-Fi is major is for the doctor room, warm room, and tent ward. For the highlights is we for remote maintenance and operate. Okay, and also all of the equipment is plug in and plug out. So deploy is very simple. Okay, then we go to what is Huawei Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6, first one is we can go to anywhere 100 megabits. Second is latency reduced to 10 megaseconds. The third one is the coverage increased to 20%. Okay, so also we use in the wireless office, like now, almost everybody working in home, right? Almost all people working like you school, go to school, remote, go to the school for the education, right? And the public Wi-Fi. and automatic factory and digital retails, right? Okay, all of this part is Huawei, we provide the solution. But under this situation, how to make sure your supply to our customer, right? So Huawei work in India almost more than 20 years. So we have many partners here. So also ISP partner. So some partner we already have some stock, like or I introduced you 100 switch, 4000 switch, even some GPON. We already have some stock is here. If you have any requirement, we can ask them provide to you. This is number one. Number two, also we have the immobile FTWZ stock. Right? But this one is means maybe we spend one more week than ISP partner warehouse. After that, also we have some stock in Shenzhen. So it means all of this stock we can save your time, deploy time. Okay. Okay, this is my topic. Thank you very much. Very much.
Thank you,
Hello.
speakers, for such insightful presentations. We have some poll questions now for our audience. Can we please launch the poll? The first question is, where is Huawei's largest R&D outside China? The options are Moscow, Russia, Bangalore, India, Paris, France, or London, UK. You have 40 seconds to answer the question, attendees.
This is simple questions. Hope you can get the luck draw.
We have the answers with us. 2% go with Moscow, Russia, 93 go with Bangalore, India, 3 with Paris, France, and 2 with London, UK. Perhaps the right answer is Bangalore. Can we please have the next question? What is the global WLAN market span in 2020? The options are 15 billion, 12 billion, 12.4, and 15.4. We have the results with us. 30% go with 15 billion, 15% go with 12 billion, 27 go with 12.4 billion, and 29% go with 15.4 billion. Mr. Singh, perhaps you would like to share some light, shed some.
Hello.
Mr. Singh, can you please shed some light on the answers here?
Yeah. As per the IDC, the market space for 2020 is 12.4 billion. This I have presented in one of my slides where I have given the brief about the wireless.
Yeah. Can we please have the next poll question, please? The question says Cloud Engine S6730H has how many 100G uplink ports? The options are 6, 2, 8, and 4. We have the results with us. 48% go with 6, 6% say the ports are 2, 18% say 8, and 28% say 4. Mr. Joe, would you perhaps throw some light here?
Okay. So could you see my screen? Hello?
Sorry, can you please tell us what's the correct answer there?
Six part.
Sure, sure. Can we have the next poll question, please? The next question says, what can be the maximum distance between two sites for single fiber solution? The options is 80, 120, 100, or 140. We have the results with us. 23% go with 80, 47 go with 120, 22% go with 100, and 8% go with 140. Speakers, would you like to share some light here? Would you tell us what's the correct answer?
The correct answer is 120 kilometer on the single fiber that can be, transmitted. The data can be transmitted with the help of the repeater and all those things. So the correct
Sure.
answer is 120 kilometer.
Sure. Can we have the next poll question, please? For which ISP Huawei has deployed cloud Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi 6 in India? The options are ACT, Excitel, Den, or Gigantic Infotel. We have the answer with us. 33% go with ACT, 10% go with Excitel, and again 10 with Den, while 48% go with the last option. Mr. Singh, would you let us know what's the correct answer here?
Yeah, the right answer is Gigantic Infotel. With them, we have deployed the cloud Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I believe that was the last poll that we had. Since we are running short of time, let us quickly take a few questions that we have had from our audience. The first question is how Huawei can help the ISP to migrate their distribution network from 40G to 100G. Our speakers, will you please help us here with the answer?
Actually, from 40G to 100G, now we have two solutions. One solution is like I introduced the switch. First time we can go to 40G, but the second time we can by software upgrade to 100G. This is number one. Okay. Second one is now almost the 40G and 100G. This switch also we can do the interconnect. We use same the uplink fiber. Then we do the interconnect to go to 100G.
So the Ria, the beauty of the product, what Joe is saying, the solution what we have, that the customers can upgrade from 40 to 100G without doing the hardware change. So like in today's scenario, where we are seeing a spike in bandwidth, sudden uprise in bandwidth. Okay, so a lot of our service provider, they are looking for a hardware change. But whosoever is having this kind of box, within the minute they can increase their bandwidth and go from 40G to 100G.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So that's the so that's the beauty of the product.
Oh, sure. One of our attendees, Mr. Agrawal, wants to know that traffic has it gone up to 300%. How much network optimization is nearly possible in this situation?
See, in such kind of a scenario, because the traffic with some of the service provider are going 200 or 300% upward. Okay, the optimization what we can experience from some of the service provider, what we can optimize is up to the 20 or a 25% based on the current infra. But to meet such kind of a requirement of 200 or 300 upward demand, what we are seeing that some of the service provider, they are doing the bandwidth capping, so that at least they can control their network in the current situation. But definitely in the coming time, they will have to do the upgrade of the network to meet such kind of demand. So with our expert, with our service and support team, we can do optimization of network where they can accommodate 20 to 25% of bandwidth, but beyond that we don't recommend. After that, we'll recommend to go for the upgrade only.
A great one, sure. Another attendee with us, Mr. Sen, wants to know if stack is possible between S6720 and S6730.
Jove, so one of our participants, they want to understand whether the stacking is possible on our old model switch, S6720 and S6730. Stacking is possible on the new and old model?
It's possible in the new model, yes.
So
all right.
Stacking is possible among the old and new model, both switches?
Sure. I know we are running short of time. Quickly taking just last question. Mr. Singh, if you could perhaps answer this. BCM is still in infant stages in Indian corporate world. What do you think? What would be the major reason here? Is it the lack of investment in infrastructure from the companies, or is it the bandwidth issue? What would you say is it?
See, in my opinion, because where today we are sitting such kind of situation, nobody actually able to predict. So what we understand from the market and from the experience, that the some of our service provider and players, they have planned for the contingency of 20 to 30% of the upward in the network side. Okay, so that they can optimize the investment. Okay, nobody have planned in a such a way that if there is a 100% upward increase in the network, and we should be prepared for that. Okay, as a standard practice, 20 to 30% buffer has to be taken in care. Okay, so those kind of things had been planned by many of the service provider. But if the things are going beyond that, okay, nobody has thought. So in such kind of a scenario, I think what Mr. Kim also highlighted, that we being the technology partner, we can support our service provider, our customers, to cope up and to fight those kind of a situation by optimizing the network, by providing infra which is available with our partner ecosystem which is there in India. And the good part is that we are seeing that China is already out from this COVID-19 impact. So they are almost back to work. So the solutions and the hardwares are also available there, and which is coming to the Indian markets. So that's what I wanted to emphasize.
Sure, sir. Oh, I was wondering if we can take another question.
Yeah, please.
Sure. One of our attendees, Vijay, Mr. Vijay wants to ask if for cloud Wi-Fi solution, will Huawei provide with AAA for access, authorization, and accounting?
See, ideally the AAA we don't provide, but we can integrate with third-party AAA solution.
Okay, perfect, sir. Thank you so much for giving all the answers to our questions here. Thank you so much for the presentations that you have presented here. I'm equally grateful for all our attendees who had been with us here today. Thank you and have a nice day. Please stay safe, stay connected for more such sessions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.